Welcome, everybody, to Connect and Serve. We had a few technical difficulties, but I believe that we're going to be all right. So first things first, yesterday was what? The Marine Corps birthday. Happy birthday, Devil Dogs. We appreciate you guys. And, of course, the party continues with Happy Veterans Day. Clearly, we know our mission here is to serve our veterans in a capacity that's unlike any other. So thank you. Thank you for your service. For me, to all my brothers and sisters out there, I couldn't be more grateful than to be able to serve in this capacity, but have so many friends, brothers and sisters now that are continuing their service through Hives for Heroes and in communities all across the United States. So again, thank you for your service and happy Veterans Day. We have an upcoming gala on Friday here in Houston, Texas. Again, once you're in this channel, go ahead and drop where you're from. You might see a state leader, you might see somebody else in your area, and then you can talk to them. Also, this week, this live is going to be pretty interactive. So if you have questions, Kevin wants to answer these questions, right? This is a little bit more interactive than usual, so we're grateful for that. Be on the lookout for a silent auction. Remember, this stuff isn't free. We have a huge budget. Y'all can go see everything on our 990s on the website. On the bottom right side where it has the transparency tab, you can see everything. But we are having fundraising going on this year for all our scholarships and everything else. So there will be a silent auction link so that if you couldn't make it to Houston this time, you can still contribute if you'd like to. We got really, really cool stuff. Like, no kidding, a Craig Biggio signed baseball glove. We have the Barry Bonds signed baseball bat with pictures. It's incredible. A lot of community organizations donating here to the organization. We just also got a donation from Cigar International, which is a huge kit. So if you love cigars, really, really cool stuff there. And then we have a signed golf bag from the Golden Bear, like literally, no kidding, from the Golden Bear, signed golf bag, and another baseball from the old owner of the Astros, Drayton McClain. Just really, really cool stuff. So we have the gala on Friday. Hopefully you can make it. If not, we'll have the silent auction out there ready. And be on the lookout for new honeys on the website as well. We have a Christmas type not spiritual, but a seasonal type stuff coming out for the holidays. Check that out. Hopefully it can be a gift to somebody. As y'all know, it's veterans and first responders that are stewarding the bees, harvesting the honey, bottling the honey, labeling and shipping the honey. So it all goes to a great cause, of course. And then Craig Midget, Matt Booth, all the guys that are out there that are supporting the Nobby dinner, our Kentucky State leaders, Will and Candy as well. There is a dinner that is going to be on at Nobby. There are tickets for sale. They're $30. It's all the food all the barbecue stuff from Mission Barbecue. And we have a band as well. So you'll be able to have a great time with the band. And you might see a special guest that will look familiar. It is bluegrass. So if you kind of know the hint, you'll be able to see it. Again, $30. It's on the website as well. There's a link available. And all those dinner tickets will go on online sales. And then we will be announcing tomorrow morning all the Be More Scholars. All right. So if you're here for that, we're going to be doing it tomorrow morning to make sure that we have everything accurate and correct. Charlie's working through that. Neela's working through that. Our board's doing a great job. So please be a little bit patient with us. It is going to come out tomorrow. 35 recipients this year. Thank you so much to HEB and the Anderson family for coming through on the scholarships. Again, those are $1,000 scholarships that will go to 35 different veterans and first responders throughout the country this year. Congratulations to those that are helping doing the fundraising, and congratulations to our soon-to-be recipients of the Be More Scholarship. And with no further ado, I would like to introduce one of my friends and an incredible person. Not only is he an Army veteran, but you might have had him yelling at you sometime on the drill field, because he was a drill instructor as well. Tremendous career in the Army, lots of experience everywhere else. And now he is the co-founder with his wife of Bee Bum out of Lincoln, Nebraska. They're incredible. I have so many stories with them already in the few years that we've known each other. Today, we'll be talking about creamed honey and their incredible stuff that they do. But I'd also like to share one quick story before we start. back in 2022, I believe, maybe 2021. Kevin and his wife were able to put on a national conference that we had there in Lincoln, Nebraska, with Ian Stepler, Cayman Reynolds, Bob Benny, Buzz Vance. We had Nature's Image Farms with Greg and his family, Premier Bees as well, John Hill from Hillco. It was an incredible event. We had like 250 people that were able to make it out there. And it was the one and only time that we have done it. We might do it in the future, but it was awesome. And they were the ones that took the lead of this. So instead of waiting around for somebody to do something, they said, you know what, we're going to go do this. We want to do it. And they brought this to Nebraska. So I'd like to be able to introduce my friend, Kevin Monfelt. What's going on, brother?
Hey, Steve. How you doing tonight?
Happy Veterans Day.
Happy Veterans Day.
As you can see, Kevin's got that OG shirt on right there. That's a Hives for Heroes, Save Bees, Save Vets. Been around a long time. We're doing great.
I'm pretty sure I got this at that event you were talking about.
That was incredible. We got to make a lot of friendships in that area. And I know we're going to get to talking here. And we just had a great day today on Veterans Day. We got to honor Hives for Heroes in a very different capacity. I have a business degree from Rice University, which is the #1 business school in the country. Incredible school and organization. And they allowed us to speak. So I was the keynote speaker today at Rice for Veterans Day. And we were introduced by the president of the university, which was incredible. And a huge surprise to us was Kaz, who has been a member of Hives for Heroes for 4 years, got the Veteran of the Year award from Rice University. It was incredible. You had 2 Hives for Heroes guys right here. And then we had our European ambassador, Peter, over here that was present, and Neela. What a great freaking day. So I just wanted to share. Congratulations, Kaz. Congratulations, Rice, for everything you do for veterans. And now my buddy, Kevin. What? I know you want to talk about creamed honey, but can you give everybody just a little bit about you, your background, who you are, etc.?
Yeah. So my wife, Julie, and I, we live just outside of Beatrice, Nebraska, on her grandparents' old farm. And we bought this place 3 years ago to expand our operation. So I spent 12 years in the Army Reserve. I'm not a combat veteran, never spent a day in a combat zone. So, but we do love working with you guys. And we put a class on every month. And we have about, anywhere from 18 to 30 people show up for that, depending on what's going on at the time. If you got a Husker football game, good possibility that the attendance is going to be low at that time. But we've been doing that, the class for probably 4 years now. So.
Yeah, y'all have done incredible. And we were there when you were doing all this out of the basement of the house, right? And it was really cool. And y'all had your stuff together then. So I can only imagine. I've not been able to see it, but can you kind of share like your experience from there? Because a lot of the newbies, right, they see sideliners and commercials if they know those definitions by this point, right? Some people still don't, and that's okay.
Yeah.
But to that level of like, what does that kind of look like? Because you're playing with the big boys now, right?
Well, yeah, or they're playing with me. I'm not sure what the case is. We knew, or I knew, well, I'm pretty sure my wife would say she didn't have a clue in the beginning, but I knew in the beginning that I wanted to do something different, something somewhat unique or mysterious than what other people were doing. So I started studying creamed honey, and I started making small batches. And in the beginning, we didn't have enough of our own honey to do anything with. So I just bought stuff at the grocery store and started experimenting with different flavors and things, and trying stuff that I could, that I thought sounded good. Of course, like cinnamon, vanilla, strawberry, the staples, the ones that everybody makes. Those were like our first ones we tried. But then as I started looking at stuff and getting a little better with things, I started trying some unique flavors and like compound flavors. Like we have a raspberry jalapeno that's really good, and apple cinnamon. So when you get into those, I call them compound flavors. there's a lot of balancing of the flavors, so it can get a little tricky. I've made some unusual stuff. My wife and I were making, well, we ended up with what we called Strasberry after the incident occurred, but we were making strawberry, and we ended up with raspberry and strawberry both in the same bucket, so it became Strasberry. It was actually really good. I don't know if we could make it again or not. We probably could. It wasn't that difficult, but so yeah, the creamed honey is the thing that we're really known for. We do also do some flavored honeys, and those are gaining a little bit more speed now. We've got a one out that's called mulled spice. It's really good.
We haven't had all the flavors, but I know we came home from Nebraska with a lot of them. And then when we see you guys at conferences, we always purchase too. That's another great thing about the organization is we're literally purchasing from each other and having economics built, inside of Hives for Heroes or just inside of friend groups, right? And that drives us the economics for us as well. Because if we're not really kind of purchasing from each other, like why would you be doing that, man? I'd love for even an exchange, right? We have these exchanges at North American Honeybee Expo or something like that, but it'd be cool to just share honey. And you have a tremendous amount because you're doing it. It's not just the honey, right? You obviously have raw, real American honey, and then you're doing things to it. You become like a chemist. So who's the best taste tester, you or Julie?
Well, I don't know if I would call it the best. I always ask for my wife's opinion when she's around because everybody's palate is a little bit different. She doesn't enjoy hot stuff quite as much as I do, and so we make about 6 different hot honeys. We've got a hot garlic, pineapple ghost pepper, peach habanero, mango chili, chili lime, and I'm certain I'm forgetting one, but and they all have about the same heat range. And the reason we do that is because we want people to enjoy the flavor of it and not have to drink a gallon of water because they just ate it. So, but they work really well with things. They're good bases and additions to recipes. Like the chili lime, my favorite thing to do with it is to make coleslaw. A little mayonnaise, a little apple cider vinegar, some of the chili lime in there, and then you make coleslaw with that. Awesome fish tacos.
Oh, that's incredible. You're going to have to make a bee-bum recipe book over here soon, huh?
It's on our website. All you got
Oh
to
my goodness, look at that. Okay, so now you already know. You got to go check out Bee-Bum, right?
Yeah.
Google it, go to beebum.com or whatever and find some recipes for their amazing stuff. I know that we've very much enjoyed it. I'm not that great of a taste tester. I think I want to go through one of Bruce's classes or University of Florida and actually really understand and learn, just kind of like a sommelier or anything like that. I think it'd be really beneficial.
Yeah. When it comes to, like, I always have to ask one of my friends when it comes to, I mean, I can tell if I like the taste of honey or not, just plain raw, unadulterated honey. I mean, I can tell what I like in that. And when we're making these creamed honeys and flavored honeys, your lighter honeys and lighter flavored honeys work much better for that. They take on the flavor you're trying to give them much easier than, say, like tulip poplar or buckwheat or your darker, more amber or real dark honeys. They don't take on the flavor as well as the lighter ones do. And if you can get like a citrusy one and you're making, like, let's say you get orange blossom and you're making lemon creamed honey or lemon blueberry or orange, those work really well at backing up that flavor. So you don't have to fight the flavor as much. It just kind of comes together.
And what are your customers saying? Like when they come, whether they're taste testing or they take it home and talk to you later, your repeat customers, like what's their feedback on this?
Well, I think our growth over the past 3 years speaks for itself, or well, last 5 years. Um, we're very well known in the industry for our creamed honey. And we ship all over the world. Literally, I think my wife just shipped something to Alaska last week, a pretty big order, and Pennsylvania. So we ship all over. So Virgin Islands, yeah, yeah, it
Yeah,
goes
that's
everywhere.
incredible. And you have been growing a lot. So, I don't know how much you want to disclose to all these incredible people that are on the call and that we'll be seeing it later as well. But I mean, there's capital investment involved in here. There's time involved in it, a lot of risk and a lot of, it's not necessarily a safe endeavor, right? I mean, you've grown it over a good amount of time, but what has that been like?
Well, my hair used to be brown, and then I got bees.
You're like, boom, there it goes.
No, I'm kidding. You know, it's it really is. It's one day at a time. I don't care what you're doing, what challenges you're facing. You got to face them head on and just keep your head down and charge forward. And sometimes you get beat in the forehead a little bit, but you just got to keep pushing. You just got to keep pushing. I mean, you got to keep going. We've had our fair share of challenges, and some. There's been days I told my wife I was going to sell all the bees. She was the voice of reason that said, "No, you're not." So, but yeah, it can be difficult, and you gotta have some grit about you. You can't just stick your head in the sand and forget about it. It takes some doing, but it's fun. You got to find the piece that's your thing and make it yours. Doesn't matter what it is. If it's making queens or making nukes or packages, creamed honey, flavored honey, candles, I don't lip balms, lotion bars, whatever the thing is that is your thing, make it yours and become known for it. I've been very blessed and very fortunate that as of lately, I've been asked by a couple of different organizations. The Caymans group has asked me to speak at their event this year, so I'll be putting on a workshop there. Tickets should be going live for that just shortly. And then also the Midwest Beekeeping Expo. Do you know about that one, Steve? It's in.
Oh, share it with us, please.
Okay, so Doug Coulterman and Bill. I'm sorry if you're listening. I'm going to butcher your last name, but I believe it's Waring. Those two guys are running the Midwest Bee Expo, and it's in Wisconsin in February 6th and 7th, if I remember right. And I'll also be putting on a workshop there. And so you can find that online if you Google it. I'm sure it'll come right up. But those guys really got a great thing going there. Who knows how big it can get, but I would really like to see Hives for Heroes have the same kind of presence there that we have in Louisville.
Yeah, it's incredible that people are expressing themselves in these ways of really investing in themselves and their communities. We'll be traveling from Mobile, Alabama with the ABF conference, which at the ABF conference, the 6th and 7th, we will be there. And on the 7th, we'll be actually having a veterans dinner, right? So some of these things that we do have transitioned over the country because people see like we love being around each other. So let's put something in place that we can actually hang out around each other. And that'll be food. ABF has been wonderful. Their leadership has been very supportive as well. So again, Mobile, Alabama, the 6th and the 7th, Neil and I will be there, and I'll be speaking as well with dinner. Right. So Jim McMahon, thank you so much for coordinating that. He's on one of the boards for ABF now, and then we'll transition to North American Honeybee Expo, which will have, of course, the opening ceremonies, which I'm very grateful for. Thanks, Cayman, for allowing us to do that, bringing that veteran first responder America into that first part of the opening ceremonies, and then of course the dinner as well. And we always hang out in between, and then go around all the places and say hi. Like introduce yourself. There's a ton of Hives for Heroes people all over the country. I mean, 10,000 people now. It's pretty incredible. And now the new Midwest Honeybee Expo or Bee Expo. So that's another opportunity. I do have a question here for you from,
Okay.
let's see, where are we at? Go right up here. This is from Karen, and it is, how do you avoid separation with your creamed honey?
So we use the dice method. So most of the time when I find people that are asking me questions about separation, they're not setting it. They're not putting it in a cooler at 57 degrees for any period of time, or they're simply mixing it in a KitchenAid mixer, whipping it, and then containerizing it. That stuff will almost always separate in the KitchenAid mixer. Now, we do use a mixer to incorporate our seed into our runny honey. We use that to mix a small portion of that together, and then that just helps it blend better into the larger batch that way. So, I just had the honor of working with Jed Thorne from Thorne Manufacturing for about the last year. And I was up in Wisconsin last week for the Wisconsin Beekeepers Conference. Bob Benny was up there speaking, and Bob and I are friends, and we got to hang out some. And we went out and visited John Knox and Chris Warner's operations up there. Awesome people. If you've never got to meet them, they're great people, and just salt of the earth type of people. So it was nice to get to spend time with them and have dinner with John and his family. But I got to bring home yesterday the prototype for a honey creamer that Jed and I have been collaborating on for the past year now. And so it's looking very promising. It's got some unique features about it. And a lot of it is very similar to what's on the market now, but there are some issues with honey creamers that are on the market now. And I have historically stayed with making creamed honey in buckets just because I felt like nobody made a honey creamer that was going to do justice to the creamed honey. I mean, it just they've got some issues with them. So hopefully, when Jed's ready for this to come out, and I'm going to let him be the one that shows everything, because he's got a lot of blood, sweat, and tears into that thing, and I certainly appreciate him hanging in there and getting it this far along. So now it's up to me to do the testing of the equipment to make sure that it does in fact work the way we had intended for it to work. So I'll be doing that for the next month and a half, 2 months here, and giving him feedback so that he can tweak it just a little bit here and there. So yeah.
Wow. So from no bees, from yelling at people on the drill field, to no bees, to creamed honey, to now manufacturing of products that create the creamed honey. I mean, this is a journey that is so incredible. Could you have ever imagined that? I highly doubt it.
No, not at all. But when you immerse yourself into something and you start looking at what's missing here, what needs to improve, it's not hard. And I'm sure that if somebody else came along and put a different set of eyes on it than what I've put on it for the last, I've been making creamed honey since like 2017, I think it is.
Oh, you just didn't learn it overnight. Oh, interesting.
No. I've learned a lot, by mixing thousands of gallons of buckets of creamed honey. We make about 600 pounds on average of creamed honey a month. So yeah. So that's a 55-gallon drum about of creamed honey, depending on what size of drum you got. But that's a 55-gallon drum of creamed honey that we make per month.
That's awesome. That's incredible. So you have all the veteran side, the small business side, the small business ownership, the growing business, right? And all these complexities, but it seems like it's only energized you, right? It's not something that's taken away from you. It's something you appreciate, you enjoy, and now you get to share with others.
For sure. Yeah, for sure.
And veterans are pretty good problem solvers, don't you think?
I think so. Yeah, I think we're very resilient people, and we don't take to failure. It doesn't set well with us. So we're going to find a way to get to the belly of the beast somehow.
Yeah, that's a fact. Yeah, we just shouting out to some of the people that are on here. We got Missouri, North Carolina, multiples, Tennessee, Virginia, Southern California, Indiana, Arkansas. I mean, we're all over right down the road, Bastrop, Texas. Lots of North Carolina. Good job, Matt, out there. South Carolina. I mean, we're all over the country right now. Learning about creamed honey. So if you just joined us, Kevin Monfelt has been doing creamed honey for many years and has kind of perfected it. And now building something that is even perfecting it better. We had a question earlier about how it doesn't separate. And then now I'll go into another question here. And it was, they're doing it by hand, right? James says, hey, I make plain creamed honey and cinnamon by hand. Did you start that way? Is that something that he's starting out on? Maybe, I don't know the whole question, but is that something that is good to start with and then kind of learn where you're going? Did you do that?
Yeah, I mean, we still do every batch that we currently do. I mean, I'm getting ready to test this prototype equipment, but every batch of creamed honey I've ever made has been in a 5-gallon bucket.
Wow.
We don't have any equipment because, like I said, I'm a buy once, cry once kind of guy. I'd rather spend $5,000 one time and have a good piece of equipment that's going to work right than buy a bunch of knockoff stuff that kind of halfway does what I want it to. I don't like working that way. So, and to be quite honest, making creamed honey in a bucket's not that hard. It does take some time. But I can make more flavors in a day than anybody that owns a honey creamer can. You know, I can make as many flavors in a day as I want to make. And we kind of do some things differently that I'll talk about in my workshops that are coming up. You know, when you flavor, here's a tip for some guys or you folks out there. When you're making your creamed honey, if you'll flavor that runny honey a day or two ahead of time, you'll have better flavor from your creamed honey after you cream it. So our typical process is, like, if I'm making cinnamon, I'll go in and add my cinnamon to a 5-gallon bucket of runny honey. I let that set for 2 days. And then the morning after that, I mixed a seed in with it, let that set for a couple hours and let the air come out of it or come to the top. And then I containerize it. And then we put that in a freezer that has a special thermostat on it that holds that freezer at 57 degrees. And then it stays in there until it's set, which, depending on the glucose level of the honey, that can be anywhere from 3 to 7 days or less. You know, it's somewhere in that window, 3 to 7 days. I don't very often have it take 7 days. Very, very seldom do I ever have it take 7 days. It's somewhere in that 3 to 5 day range usually. But the higher the glucose and the lower the moisture level, the faster it'll set. It sets harder too with those two combinations. So we use a refractometer quite a bit to pay attention to those things. So,
and that real statement, not really question, was from James Knoll. He's a great friend of Hives for Heroes, been around a long time, and you know him as well. So I think y'all are both in the same boat there. We have Georgia that's in here, and I shared with the audience, you know, ask questions. I mean, this is a very interactive one. That's how Kevin is, right? People are excited for BX. We are as well. On the connection points. Let's see. Nick asks, at what point did you realize you wanted to scale up to commercial, and what kept you motivated? It's a great question.
Oh, well, it was kind of a natural progression. We started with one hive in 14 and stayed there for about 2 or 3 years. And then I went up to like 30 or 40. And then I jumped from 40 to like 150. And now we run about 400. I think we got like 389 or 90. I got to go out and do counts. Yeah. It's right.
Somewhere around there.
So, but I enjoy the bee side of it. Probably my favorite part of the bee side is the spring when I'm building nukes and selling nukes. That's probably my favorite part of the bee work is building and selling nukes. I really enjoy that part of the bee work, but my passion still goes back to the creamed honey and the flavored honeys. That's if I could spend the majority of my time in there doing that. I really accomplish a lot when I can just go in there and focus on that.
Oh,
We
nice.
invented a process called twisted creamed honey. So it's kind of like a twist cone, but it's two flavors of creamed honey in the same container. So I had to tweak the process a little bit to do it and then make some special equipment that didn't exist. But we're trying to figure out how to automate that process as well so that we can our to answer that guy's question, I don't know that there was a specific point to where I said I'm going to go commercial. I think meeting Bob probably facilitated a lot of that for me because I never really had a mentor. Well, I didn't have a mentor.
Yeah.
Bob became that role model for me. And then there's also a gentleman that's close here in Nebraska. His name is Buzz Vance. I learned a lot from him. He teaches a beginning beekeeping course at SCC here in Lincoln. And so between Buzz and Bob, I learned a lot from those guys. And then, of course, I don't remember who it was, but somebody told me one time that you can learn a lot by killing some bees. And there's a lot, there's a lot of truth in that. I have learned more from my mistakes than I ever did from doing everything right. I mean, you learn 10 times if you're not paying attention. I mean, if you're not learning from your mistakes, you're not paying attention. But I've learned a lot more from my mistakes than I ever did from getting things right. So
Man, I want to hit that real hard to the audience is the mentorship process puts you on a rocket ship. I mean, to me, it's just like, yeah, you didn't have anybody and you get to a certain level, but then you do, and you create these, and of course, I know you a little bit better than some of the others on the call. You have deep relationships with these guys. This isn't like, oh, cool, we hang out every year. I mean, this is constant talking and checking in with each other and actually enjoying life together. Like that's mentorship.
yeah,
It's beautiful. It's
well,
beautiful.
I want to see you propelled forward, Steve.
And I want to see you. Exactly.
See, and that's what it's all about.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
Kate and a couple of the other people on here, Dee and Karen, are cracking up because they're like, she says, "Don't mind me over here with the KitchenAid being called out." She's cracking up, like, and then a lot of people are in there going, "Oh, me too, me too."
Yeah. It's okay. I mean, don't. So here's some advice for everybody. If somebody tells you can't do something, walk away. Go do it anyhow. Because I had so many people when I first started doing creamed honey telling me you can't do this and you can't do that. And I honestly, I paid no attention to any of the people that told me what I couldn't do. I I did listen to some folks, and I learned from the Dice method. Dice is actually the one who invented creamed honey at Cornell University.
Okay.
And so, yeah.
That's awesome. There's James's secret. So if anybody wanted to see James's, he mixes his for 15 minutes, 3 times a day for 5 days, then jars it, sets it at 59 to 55 degrees for about 9 days. I mean, so what you're going to see here as well is even with different stuff, they're both probably great products, right? People do stuff differently. Do what works.
That's the way it needs to be done right there.
Yep. And do what works.
What's he mixing it with though? Is he putting it in a KitchenAid? Is this a KitchenAid deal here again?
Oh, it's by hand. By hand.
Oh, perfect. Okay, yeah, good, great, yeah. So the Jiffy mixers. So what we're like gearing up. We have the Jiffy mixers that are supposed to be coming in, and we like the Jiffy mixers. Number one, because they're stainless steel. They don't have any paint on them. So a lot of people will go out and get the paint mixer. You want to avoid that at all costs because that paint will flake off of there and get into your honey. and that's just, you
That's
don't want that. So you want to stick with the stainless steel ones. Like I said, we like the Jiffy mixer. We'll have those on our website before too long. We also have the Inkbird thermostats available on our website. We're going to actually offer an entire creaming kit at the events to where somebody can just grab that bucket and take it home and put everything together and make their own creamed honey from it. So
very smart. Very smart. It's like the mead kits all in one area. You got your instructions, good to go.
yeah,
Everybody in here from Virginia, Washington, Arkansas, Missouri, Indiana again. You got a lot of great comments here. So how long does it take? I believe we answered that one. Let's see. We have Missouri. I'm just trying to see if there's any other questions. Can you share a little bit more, about that mentorship process? Because clearly we do a lot of that around here, right? Caring about others. We lost a friend this past month, and I know we've talked about it a lot. I don't know if you're comfortable sharing it publicly, and if not, that's okay. But we lost James Nielsen this past month. We lost Steve Fleming, who was our keynote speaker and a gentleman that I served at 4th Recon with, to cancer. And so we're losing some guys. These are not, this is time, right? This is disease. This is other things. This isn't suicide or anything like that. But
no.
we had a great friend in him, and y'all got really close. And can you just share a little bit about him, right? About James and all he's done as well, and just kind of honor him for a second.
Yeah, James, great man. Try not to get choked up here. He was like a brother to me. He really was. He was the guy that would call you not knowing you were having a bad day on the day you were having a bad day, and just talk to you for like an hour and a half, and about whatever, talk about his bees, talk about your bees. But he was just one of those people that I connected well with. And he was one of the original people that came to that conference in Lincoln, Nebraska, all the way from Texas. And James was originally from Texas. His wife, Sherry's from Canada originally, but they live in Texas. And that just really hit home with me when, and he called me after he bought his tickets because our contact information or whatever was in there. And he was just had some questions, and we made an instant connection on the phone. And anytime we got close to them or they got close to us, we would have dinner or whatever. But that hurt a lot, having James leave us. That really hit close to home. He was a great guy.
I want to share with the audience a little bit about our family here. Clearly, y'all know we're a nationwide organization, and when people pass, we know. Like we're friends, we're family, and it's pretty incredible. And as Sherry was going through this, she reached out, to all of us. Kevin couldn't make it to the Texas events, right? So we stood up and we said, we're going to the Texas events, right? So myself, Wheela, Charlie, we were all there. I was a complete honor and privilege to be able to speak on behalf of Hives for Heroes at his funeral. We created a remembrance plaque, if you will, and presented that to his family as well. And then his name and the other names are now on a memorial wall at headquarters. And it's rudimentary, but it's not the most beautiful wall in the world right now, but they're there and they're remembered, and they always will be as a part of this organization. And then as he was transitioned to Nebraska, boom, there's Kevin. So you have a Hives for Heroes family with him as he's being laid to rest, with him and his family. It's just incredible, the stuff that we do that people don't see, right? Everybody thinks we're a beekeeping organization, and I often laugh at that. I'm like, we're a people organization utilizing bees as a conduit to heal. It's so beautiful to be able to watch. It's unlike I've ever experienced, and I love this. So yeah, James and Steve, and we've had others as well, and I'll probably take a picture and post that. But just a tremendous loss, right? A tremendous loss in that,
for sure.
And back to questions, because man, you're getting a lot of them. Chocolate honey? Any kind of secrets in chocolate honey? Do you chocolate honey?
I do. We do cocoa honey, and you want to use. So we shop at a spice store a lot. Our one here in Nebraska is called Tamata. Just find you don't need to use mine. You've got one somewhere locally, and they're going to have the same stuff my guys got anyhow. They get it all from the same suppliers. But you just buy, I think it's called Baker's Cocoa. It's just powdered cocoa that has nothing else added to it. It's just that powdered cocoa. And then you add that to your, so here's a tip for you. So for like a 60-pound batch, which would be a 5-gallon bucket, you're going to put 3 cups of that cocoa powder in there, and then mix that in, and then let that set for 2 days. And then on day 3, come back and add your seed to that and cream it, and then package it. There you go. And that, my friends, makes the absolute best hot chocolate in the world. Two spoonfuls of that in some warm milk. Yeah.
Yep. All right. That's incredible. We got another one. Do you do any nut honeys, walnut, pecan, macadamia, anything like that?
Okay, so we make a thing called cinnamon sticky nuts. I'm not quite sure what that question there is.
Cinnamon pecan. She said.
We didn't have pecans. We have the cinnamon sticky nuts, and then we also have cinnamon cashews. We call them Cadillac cashews. But no pecans. But the mixed nuts probably have pecans in with them. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's probably what it is.
Yeah, go to their website, go to BeeBum and see all the flavors that they have. We have, I don't know how to say the name. I see Brian on the end of that. So I'm just going to say, Brian, I signed up to be a mentor in Washington State, still looking for a mentee. Hey, please be patient. Thank you so much for signing up as a mentor. It's incredibly important that there are people out there. And we match within geographical areas. So sometimes it's difficult. They might not be around you. But staying involved and engaged is helpful to us all. So if you can, please do that. That would be incredible.
Another thing for you guys too. Maybe you can't mentor a veteran because you can't find one close to you. But just start. Like we have a lot of kids, youth that come to our class. That is the most rewarding thing for me, is to have these young kids, these next generations that are going to be coming up, and their parents are bringing them to our class. Mm-hmm. I'm going to give a little shout out to Joel Kronk here. Joel started coming to my classes, I don't know, maybe like 3 or 4 years ago. I'm not even sure. Jeanette, if you're on there, can you comment and tell us how long it's been? But Joel runs his own little business now. He's doing great. I'm so proud of that kid. He does these little talks all the time, and he's got somebody that he's mentoring now. So don't limit yourself to one group or one organization. If you're looking for something, you got to be active. Just go do something, make it happen. Don't wait. Put on a class, put on a workshop, go speak at a library, a show, whatever. And
have fun.
Joel's 14 years old. Joel started in 2021. I see the comment right there. So
okay.
But he had a speaking engagement last week or the week before at like a library or something, and I wanted to get over there to that, and I didn't make it. But I'm so proud of that young man for what he's doing, and he's taking the ball and moving forward with it. And that's all you got to do is just. Maybe they never wore a uniform, but you can find somebody out there that's interested in bees and wants to do something. So that's what you got to do.
Yeah, and Nick's sharing over here. I found the mentorship part the most important and motivating piece. My mentor is the reason I'm going full speed into queen rearing and bee production. Look at that. It's not cream honey. That's fine. Do it later. Don't do it ever. It doesn't matter. But that is pretty incredible that now you're talking about, man, I'm queen rearing. That was pretty cool, right?
Yeah. I don't even rear queen, not for sale. I raise a few queens for myself, but I don't sell queens that I raise.
Martha Keene, she's from Virginia. She's our state leader. She's incredible. I think she's actually moved to South Carolina, but she's asking, do you have pasteurization laws in your state, in Nebraska?
No, we do not. You can pasteurize your honey. Now it is somewhat important to warm that honey prior to creaming it, because yeast will cause fermentation So you got to be mindful of your moisture levels, and you want to stick to adding dry ingredients to your honey so that you don't raise that moisture level too high. We don't pasteurize our honey. We do warm it at 110 degrees for about 24 hours just to make sure we've got all the crystals out of it. Because if you have any large dirt, sugar crystals, pollen, whatever, that is going to be a catalyst in your creamed honey, and it will make it gritty. So one of the key things is to strain that again. So our honey that we harvest ourselves, it's strained twice. It's strained when we're harvesting it, and then it's strained again as we're using it. Now we don't filter it, but we use a 600 micron strainer. So it is leaving the small particulates of pollen and the good stuff in there. And then we don't superheat it like some places do. We like to keep it at that 110 degree range. That's enough to uncrystallize the honey, but it's not going to zap all of the enzymes right away. Honey is deteriorating from the minute it's put in the comb. People just don't realize that. Honey will deteriorate at room temperature. It's a fact. But the higher the heat goes, the more rapidly it deteriorates. So just got to be cautious with that. The original method for creaming honey called for you to heat the honey, I believe it was, to 145 degrees and then cool it rapidly. Well, most of us don't have a way to cool it rapidly from 145 degrees. The only way I would be able to do it is stick it outside in December or maybe put it in a cooler. I don't know, but we make creamed honey 365 days a year. So that's why we use the lower temperatures.
Okay.
Yeah. And then also you want your honey to be relatively fluid when you're mixing things in. So we like about 70, 72, 73 degrees, somewhere in there. Even when we're adding our seed to it, we like that 70 to 73 degree range for incorporating the seed and stuff into it.
Roger that.
Get a better blend.
That's that. I mean, this is a lot of these are all the tips and tricks that some of the people don't know what's going on, because I had a question about that as well, and it came up. Now, for right now, we are at 750. All these questions are going great, which is awesome, but we have to give some gift card giveaways. So if you can type in honey on the bottom, well, let's see, honey. Yeah, honey. So we'll do honey. Since we're talking about creamed honey today, I know it's Veterans Day, but it's still fun and everybody can spell it and there's not a space in it. So just put honey in the comments, and we'll go ahead and get the drawing for these 2 $100 gift cards that will go. So Ron and Kate, Indiana right here, I often have to explain to people the difference between creamed and whipped honey. Can you go over that for everyone?
Yeah. So whipped honey is that back to that KitchenAid again. That's whipped honey. And, we're in an industry here where things have been kind of just thrown together in the same category for so long. Kind of my little side mission is to educate people on what those terms actually mean. So to me, whipped honey is that stuff that's going to come out of a KitchenAid mixer. That's whipped honey. Spun honey is the stuff that you're going to get out of your honey creamer, your mechanical honey creamer, and which can also be creamed honey. I'm not using it as a derogatory term or anything, but I'm just categorizing those. And then creamed honey is using the old-fashioned dice method, where you mix it manually in a bucket or some vessel and then containerize it and set it. So,
well, everybody's loving this right here. Karen's saying she's drooling. Martha's getting hungry. Kate's talking about some stuff for the kids. The cocoa is a natural cough suppressant. Mix it with honey. Use it for colds. Kids love it. And let's see, what does this one say? Laura says, too late at night for all the mouth-watering treats, but so worth it. Yeah, that's definitely happened over here as well. Somebody's had a macadamia nut variety honey, which is very, very cool. You already know that he started in 2021, 14, and man, it's just great. Donna was also talking about that people just going out locally, just share information. Right. Doesn't matter what group you are, like we talk about here, you're all freaking humans. Just share the stuff that you have because others are interested. Right. And this is awesome. For us, we know it's a therapy aspect, and that's very helpful as well. But it could just be nice and fun and cool, something to do with the family, something to actually get engaged with. Let's see. Let's see if we have any other questions. Is the warming before or after you add the flavor?
So it's before, because most of the time, when we harvest our honey, we put about, last year we put 8,000 pounds of honey in 5-gallon buckets. So that's a lot of 5-gallon buckets. And those are going to get rock hard. Our honey starts crystallizing almost within 3 weeks or a month of going into the buckets. So all of our stuff has to be reliquefied. So it has to be warmed first. You can warm it as you're letting it set. That's typically how we do our flavored honeys, is like our mold spice honey that we have right now. That's a huge seller for us.
Oh, cool.
I don't know why I didn't think of it sooner. It's one of those things that was like, this is great. Why didn't I think of it sooner? So, right in front of you. But everything has its time and place. But the mold spice is flying off the shelves right now. But I just put a batch of that in the warmer tonight, and so
very cool.
Yeah,
we have Flower Street Farms. They just made lemon ginger creamed honey last night.
Nice.
And I this is a good call out here. I can't see the entire name. Waroric is, I just can't thank you enough for the win last month. And he's talking about the gift card giveaway. I used it to buy a fantastic Italian-made honey press. Thank you. And thank you for saying thank you. Oftentimes a lot of the stuff that we do out in the back end, the state leaders, the leaders in headquarters, and all those, even our mentors, right? It kind of goes unthanked. It doesn't take anything to just say thank you. So thank you for sharing with that.
Yeah. Well, I'm curious, what's an Italian honey press?
I don't know. I can look it up. Peter? Italian honey press? I'm gonna have to Google that one.
Yeah.
Right.
Is the viscosity different between creamed and whipped? Yes or no is fine.
Well, yeah. So a lot of there can be a lot of variation in the viscosity of creamed honey and the texture, depending on the glucose and moisture level and how long it was set and how it's stored. So our mission from the beginning, once we started doing this, was to be able to figure out how to make the best product, to be able to ship, and also to go commercial with, to be able to put it in a grocery store. So our mission is to put our creamed honey in a grocery store. Probably not all 34 flavors. We currently have like 34, I think it's 34, maybe it's 36 flavors now. I don't remember, but we're past Baskin Robbins. I do know that. So that viscosity and texture can vary quite a bit. We try to set ours a little harder so that by the time it gets to Miami, Florida, it's not a runny bunch of goop.
Yeah.
We're not, yes, I can compete in honey contests and do fairly well. Second place at least, right, Jeanette? LOL.
And now, and we also found out what this honey press is. So I can visually now see it, right? It's the cylinder, and it presses from the top. And
the cappings.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. Very nice. Yeah.
Very cool. I'm glad that you guys were able to get that. So for tonight, our winners are One Fast Freddy. All right, One Fast Freddy. And this is actually very, very cool. And we thank her for all the things that she does. She's always active. Wonderful family, Kate Ray. So thank y'all so much for being here for that. One Fast Freddy and Kate Ray. So thank y'all for doing the honey sign in. We always love that you guys are here. Let me see if there's any other questions over here, because one of the other questions that I just want to ask you is what's next? What do you think is on this forward path and momentum? It seems like things are growing in a positive direction. Do you have any fear over that, or are you just all in?
Well, right now at our farm, we're working. We bought a cow and extraction line, so we're renovating one of our buildings so we can get that set up in there. I had new concrete poured and some other stuff. So once we'll get that cow and line set up in there, and then that'll be temporary bottling and packaging until we get our new store and our next building put up. So there's another building coming once this one's done that'll be somewhere between 50 and 60 foot wide by 100 foot long. And so then that'll have a big retail center in it, as well as it'll be the new packaging facility with bigger packaging lines. And so this machine that I worked with Jed with, that machine will allow me to train people to make creamed honey in our facility the same manner that I would make it and package it, and be able to take that whole thing commercial, so that I can put my cinnamon creamed honey in a grocery store, or my cocoa creamed honey in a grocery store. So
heck yes. So the world of this story is like no bees all the way to I got a building with all this stuff, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, this is how it happens, and it beautifully gets out of control. I mean, it's kind of the chaos of the bees, but in our own lives, and then you're just kind of directing that. You're not defining every single bit, but just growing with how it grows. The customer's happy, you're happy. Hey, we need more stuff. Let's continue to grow. Very, very organic. I've always loved the way that you guys do things.
Yeah, it's been a journey.
Well, from this
journey,
you have any other kind of like advice or last words or anything like that for the crew that's here? We have people online, they're going to see it later on as well, but maybe like, just any kind of parting thoughts, if you will.
Don't be afraid to go for it. Don't. Yeah. You get one shot at this. And the only regrets I've ever had were the chances I didn't take.
Man, I'm gonna have to put you on the wall. Those were good. That's really solid.
Yeah. So
man,
you gotta just dig in and go do it. Make your dreams happen.
Absolutely. Well, we thank you so much. I thank you for your friendship, and I'm grateful that you're a part of this and that you're continuing to grow and showing others that it's possible. I mean, these are the things that we do around here. We inspire and grow with each other. There is no competition. Kevin, I want you all the greatest things that you could ever possibly have in life. There ain't no competition here. I love it. It's incredible. And I hope that for everybody else on the channel. So thank you so much for being here, Kev.
Thank you.
Awesome, man. That's incredible. We have so much going on, and just to hear inspiring stories like his and the work that gets put into it. Nothing is going to be handed to you. I promise. You're going to have to go out and earn it. Our job here is to open up doors of opportunity. First is the healing aspect, and we work with the bees in this alternative health and therapy, right? And then we provide opportunity, and that's incredible. And if we can't provide it for you, guess what? You can. Go out and push, see what it is that you want, and get it taken care of. Dee's asking, where do we hear who won the Be More scholarships tomorrow? So they will be social media posts. We'll have it probably nice and pretty as a congratulations for everybody. There will be 35 recipients there. So I don't know exactly what time that is. We want to make sure that everything's going well and correct instead of, and it's okay that it's a little bit tardy, if you will, but that will be tomorrow. And thank you for that question. We have a few more comments over here. Kate says she's getting more Hives for Heroes gear. I love that. We wear it all the time. Great last thoughts, Kev. I agree. Everybody's saying thank you. Thank you for all that you do. And I'll go real quickly through our announcements again that we had this morning. So again, yesterday, happy birthday, Devil Dogs. Love you guys. Best fighting force in the history of the world. Man, Keep it salty, babe. Let's go. And then Veterans Day for every other veteran that is on here. It's Veterans Day, and I hope you enjoy it. Whether you're going to get the free stuff at Applebee's or spending time with the family, you earned it. You do what you want. Thank you so much for your service to this country. Couldn't be more grateful to know a lot of you on this call. We have the gala on Friday. It will be incredible. Be on the lookout for a silent auction link. If you'd like to contribute, please do so. We'd be more than happy and honored that you do so. And be on the lookout for new honeys on the website ahead of the holidays. We have our Nobby dinner tickets that are online as well. They're $30, full meal, tons of fun and activity, live music, band, and special guest, hopefully. And again, the Be More Scholarship tomorrow. So thank you all for being here. I hope you all did learn something and got connected to somebody. I know Kevin's available if you want to reach out to him as well. And of course, if you are looking for your leader, because a lot of that stuff was in here, it is on the webpage, but all you have to do is do your first state initials. So North Carolina would be NC, Florida would be FL, at hivesforheroes.org, and you will get to your state leader. So thank you all. Happy Veterans Day, and have a wonderful, wonderful evening.